Welcome to Snohomish High School and Veterans Memorial Stadium. I'd like to congratulate the Snohomish Panthers football team for a great win tonight against Oak Harbor. Tonight we're here for the first round, district round, Monroe Bearcats against your Snohomish Panthers.
It's like a loot machine.
And from the Monroe Bearcats, number 1, Jay Roca. Number 2, Brooklyn Crash. Number 4, Lila Person.
It's like a loot machine.
Number 5, Taylor Nelson. Number 6, Dave Guzzer. Number 7, Ryan Lee. Number 8, Courtney Conlon. Number 9, Adrian.
And we welcome you to Snohomish High School Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we're getting set for District 1-3A girls soccer tournament. It's the Monroe Bearcats and the Snohomish Panthers. Monroe coming in at 8-6-2. Snohomish Panthers 11-3-2. And a double elimination tournament here as Monroe meets Snohomish. I'm Tom Lafferty. Thanks for being with us. Joining me tonight is Sean Ryan to do a little color on this one. And Sean's an official all over Western Washington on soccer and also played 4 years at the University of Puget Sound. Talk about the game you already officiated today. You've already had a busy day.
Yeah, it was a 1B, 2B final regular season game. It was Mount Vernon Christian against Providence Christian School at North Creek. It went 1-1. Mount Vernon got up early, went to halftime with the lead. Providence got just a sneaky goal early second half, tied it up, and then it was just a little sloppy. Went to overtime, and 4 minutes in, long ball. Guy just wrestles, turns, hits it upper V, and Providence goes screaming off the field for a 2-1 win.
So now, tonight being a playoff game, where a regular season game, right, can end in a tie.
Yes.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. I believe if it's the same Westco rules, if they end in a draw after 80 minutes, you're going to go 2 5-minute golden goals. So if somebody scores in overtime, the game is called. If we're still
also known as sudden death.
Sudden death.
Sudden victory.
Yeah, there you go. And then if we're tied after that, then they'll do a coin flip. They'll choose which goal, and then you'll do kicks from the mark. It's a best of 5. And then after the 5, if you're still tied, then it's just 1v1. Whoever wins after that.
And there's a lot of soccer play between now and then.
Oh, plenty, yeah. Yeah, it's too early to be discussing that.
Now, are you going to kick me out of the booth if I call the pitch the field?
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
No comment. No comment. We'll leave it there.
The republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So both rosters have been introduced here on the field. And here's what gets me, Sean, and it has forever about soccer. It's darn cold out there.
Oh, it's probably about 30, I would say 39 degrees right now. It feels every bit of it. The one nice thing is I don't think there's any wind today. It was a beautiful sunny day.
Right.
Obviously it doesn't matter now that it's 8:10 or 8:15, whatever we're at. But no, I expect the girls, it'll be probably a little timid to start the game. That's natural. You're just trying to get in the flow of things. Probably a few long balls. I expect Snohomish, I've seen them, I've reffed them twice. They're going to put the ball down and play. They got a nice couple center mids. And I don't think I've seen Monroe this year, so I'm looking forward to it. Sounds like it was 3-0 in their last meeting.
Right.
So I probably, if I had to guess, they're probably going to come out a little bit defensive. They're not going to make any mistakes, and then probably try and get a counterattack going. That's what I would do against a quality Snohomish side.
Yeah, they met back here on the 21st, so 10 days ago, a 3-0 win for Snohomish over Monroe right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. A little late start here because the football game won earlier today, just a little while ago, by Snohomish over Oak Harbor, 28-21, and that was a long, about 3 hours and 20 minutes or so.
Jeez.
So kind of took a while to clear everybody out and get ready for soccer. And here we go. as tonight's game brought to you by Adrenal Fundraising, McDaniel's Do It Best, by Fred's Rivertown Ale House, Airfield Espresso, American Family Insurance, and agent Sally Petty in Monroe, GS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, Gene Johnson Plumbing, and by the Washington Officials Association. And you know this, and everybody knows this, we need help is what it says with the WOA.
We are short refs. If you know anybody, it's amazing pay. You're making lawyer money, especially if you're a kid and you're trying to save up for college or a car. Yeah, anybody knows, anybody can help you. Google is a great resource as well.
There was a shot there for Snohomish just right off the kickoff. And so it's Snohomish in the red uniforms, and in the white is Monroe.
So just off the bat, looks like both teams are almost playing a 4-5-1. They're going to keep a striker high. Probably going to try to keep the ball outside, get the time and space. And yeah, here's Snohomish already pinging it.
So the Panthers coming down. Left side, Ruth Hammer. Hammer on the near side. We heard a lot of her brother. Well, actually, and Steve Willits is still I don't know if this Hammer is brother or cousin of the Hammers that played football. We're going to take a look. There's a whole bunch of Hammers that came through Snohomish,
yeah.
and half of them are now playing football, and the head football coach is Joey Hammer. So
it's a family affair.
It's a family affair. In fact, Sarah Van Asche, who is the head coach of the Snohomish Panthers, she's a Snohomish alum. April Van Asche. Ball out of bounds. You throw in here for Monroe. And then kicked right back out of bounds by the Panthers. Sarah Rogers. Throw in here for Sophia Douglas.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell right now. They're obviously the cold's a little bit of a factor, but yeah, you get that playoff atmosphere. It's just you're a little timid. You don't want to make any mistakes. You're a little nervous. Probably going to settle back into the game in about 3 minutes or so, and then you'll start seeing a little more rhythm, a little more fluctuation from both teams.
So inbounds play here for Monroe. Most of this first few minutes has been played down in this end.
Yeah.
Now goes out of bounds off of Monroe, so it'll be throw in here into traffic. Snohomish with a Lauren Pedley, wearing number 6 out there.
Foot race right here. Get the end of it. Oh, wow.
Kept in bounds. Off the end line. And then Snohomish kicks it out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to do. You're trying to get end line. Ideally, you'd get a cross or a corner, hit it off them. But she's actually able to turn the corner and then go to goal. So then if she could have kept going, essentially you'd cut that ball back between the penalty mark and the 6, and hopefully somebody can side foot it. But yeah, she played that brilliantly out on the left wing.
Panthers keep it in bounds. Nope, they're going to say it went out of bounds. The officials, referee Nathan Campbell, and then assistant referee that we call
Yes, sir.
John
Yes.
Agayapong and Dwayne Carlson. It's always intrigued me too, and all the way up to the highest levels. It's one referee, right?
Yes,
You're out
yes.
there, and you're up. That's a lot of coverage.
It is Nathan's. That's what they'll call it. It's Nathan's game right now. Now your assistants, Nathan is going to work opposite of them so that they don't miss anything as far as play goes. But most of the calls, foul calls, all the yellow cards will be his. Now they're there to assist him. So if they see something that he misses, there's signals you can give to. Basically, they're offering their input, but he'll make the decision when the time comes.
Now, can he also then go over to one of the side people and say, what did you see there? I mean,
Yeah, if play stopped.
Check swing in a baseball game. You point down to the guy at third base.
Yeah.
Did he swing? Yes, he did, or no, he didn't.
100%, especially if play stopped, and if there is something like maybe a caution needs to get issued, something after the play, or just was that a corner or a goal kick. He can 100% go over there, take a second, and that's the one thing that people don't understand and they don't like about soccer. You can always add time later. I'm just going to put that in there right now.
And it's that way in high school rules too?
Yes. So
how do you keep track of that?
So basically, really what you're just doing is, like, there's going to be natural stoppages,
Right.
especially here at Snohomish when you have that much space behind the goal. If you don't have the ball available right there and it takes the goalie, let's say 30 seconds, you'll probably just say, okay, I'm going to naturally, it'd probably be about 10 to 15. I'll add 10 to 15 on at the end. And then you just kind of accumulate it up.
In your head.
Exactly. And then it's a rough estimate. There's... I wish I could tell you there was a spreadsheet. You could just point to, A12.
You're not on your phone punching it in?
No, it's just kind of, hey, I think about 3 minutes or so, and then you go from there.
So Snohomish here on the attacking end. That'll go off the end. And like you said, I guess it depends on the area where you're playing. Like you said, Snohomish just has a huge area off the end of the field all the way to the track and all the way to the fence.
I'm just going to say it now. The goalies will be getting their steps in tonight. So they'll be doing just as much as fitness as far as the field players go.
Now, the other night we were here and they had ball kids on the end.
And that's such a luxury. That is such a luxury. Plus, the ball kids are having a great time.
Sure.
So it's just a win-win. But I don't think mom and dad are going to let the 8, 9, and 10-year-old girls out at past 9 o'clock.
Right. So that one goes out of bounds off of Olivia Douglas of Monroe. So throw in here for Ruth Hammer.
First handball. That's a contentious point in soccer right now. They've just changed the rules on the handball. It's not just straightforward anymore. There's a gray area.
Explain to me the gray area.
So if you're just standing there in a natural position and the ball strikes your hand, that is not a handball. If you're protecting
it used to be, though, right?
It used to be, yeah,
okay.
For the most part. Next one is, let's say I control the ball and I'm trying to, boot it upfield, clear it out, and I whiff, comes off my shoe and hits my hand. That's not a handball. It's not a handball because I was trying to make a play on the ball and I have nothing.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing that, that I tried to deliberately do. The other one, too, is let's say you're attacking me, we're going down in the corner and you're trying to cross the ball, and I go to ground slide to block it, and it strikes my arm. Now, as long as my arm's not in an unnatural position, because, again, I'm going to ground, it's not a handball. So there's some things, coaches aren't in love with it, but it
so the coaches wanted it to be the more constrained, more strict.
They call it, well, I shouldn't say that, but basically soccer was trying to correct the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to clear a ball and the ball hits my hand and I didn't mean to do that, it shouldn't be a free kick for the other team.
Right. So what do we have here?
Got a corner kick for Snohomish. Good service.
It's going to go.
She's on.
Try to centering here, but it's going to be headed out of there by Monroe. They'll clear it. But the Panthers get it back out near midfield. Ruth Hammer. Then controlled back by Monroe.
Here we go.
Little attack here. The next thing I'm going to ask you is about offside.
I was hoping we could make it till second half, but if you're going to bring it up 10 minutes in, I'm happy to answer any questions we have.
Well, let's not do it yet till we see one.
Yeah.
Because I'm always used to watch a lot of hockey, and now with the Kraken in town, and you get offside, but that's to the blue line. This is it's different in soccer.
Yeah, we're at the half line for this one.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it when it happens, if it happens.
Good ball. Is she going to get there?
She's not going to get there.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
So when you're out there as the referee, you quickly can identify, okay, she or he's a really good soccer player.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. You kind of figure out those, I would say, depends on the game, but probably the 2 to 4 people where I need to get out of their way. I just, you can kind of get a feel for the game. We're about I would say about the 15-minute mark is where you kind of really know, okay, this is what the game's going to, what each team's trying to do. And then, you just kind of, I'm going to stay out of the way here. I'm going to move there. Nate's a great ref, too. He's got a great feel for that. He's been doing this for years. But just off the bat, first 10 minutes, 15 on Monroe. I got Megan Hurley.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job of holding the ball up, relieving pressure, letting Monroe get out of their defensive half. So we'd call that a soft foul, but it is a foul.
A soft foul.
A soft foul, yes.
So difference between a soft foul and a hard foul?
Hard foul is pretty easy to call. A soft foul, that's his interpretation for the night. So,
Okay.
So he's right off the bat, Nate's telling me we're not pushing people in the back.
Okay.
It's just an easy thing to do. It's a playoff game, so you want to get the small stuff. And especially since it was deep in Snohomish's half, it's pretty easy as an official to call the ball coming out.
And I'm guessing as an official, like in other sports, the officials will say, hey, it's a playoff game. It's not up to me to decide the game.
No.
We let the athletes do it.
Yeah. And neither coach is ever going to argue that call.
Right.
You're 85 yards from the other goal.
Now, you talked about they changed the handball rule at all levels of soccer?
Yes.
I mean, the Premier League all the way down?
Across the board.
Okay.
IFAB did that. So that's the international FIBA.
Okay. All right. EFAB, except it's IFAB.
Oh.
There. Goal in.
Number 8.
Number 8, Addison Foley gets the goal for the Snohomish Panthers.
Sarah Hammer with the cross on the corner kick.
So Hammer gets the assist.
Somewhat surprising, to be honest, because I thought Monroe's actually had most of the game so far. I mean, we've been down here a fair amount, but wow. That's a great ball, back post. She's right inside the 6 and just a money header.
So on that, going back to that play, how much of that, this is a weird question, is skill and how much is just you're accidentally in the right spot? Or is it a combination of both?
Probably a little bit of both. Basically, at training yesterday or throughout the week, you have different, you'll have 1, 2, you call them plays or whatever they are, and basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to serve it into an area. And then you want to get your best, you'll have, I call them firsts and seconds. You're going to have the tall kids where they're trying to head it. They're our first. And then you're going to have the seconds, me, a scrappy, smaller player who's just trying to pick up anything, around there. So, that looks like she's just serving it back post because they had her, they had Addison and another girl right there. And she's just trying to head it at goal. And then you got other people, they call it framing the goal, and you're just trying to pick up anything that falls loose to you.
Here's Ruth Hammer to kick it for the Panthers. But Monroe will pick it right back up, and then it goes out of bounds. One nothing lead for Snohomish. Double elimination tournament here in the Northwest District 1 or the Western Conference, are really kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
And Monroe, a lot of defenders back there for Snohomish. It's back to Hammer. Stolen back and then stolen back. Going out of there is Sarah Rogers. She'll send it forward.
So the key right now for Monroe, you just conceded, I would say, a somewhat unlucky goal. It was a lull in the game.
Right.
It's not like Snohomish had been killing you. I thought you actually had a fair amount of the possession. You can't concede again. You want to tighten things up. Obviously, you want to get forward. But yeah, I'd say the next couple minutes, pretty key. You just want to get your feet back under you, kind of calm down a little bit.
Off the throw-in, Snohomish had it, then it went out of bounds. Coming in on Thursday night, they played. Everett beat Stanwood in the play-in game, so the loser-out games. Everett beats Stanwood 1-0. Monroe, who we're watching tonight, they ousted Oak Harbor 3-1. Ferndale beat Meadowdale 2-1, and Shorecrest beat Arlington 2-0. So Edmonds, Woodway, Snohomish, Montlake Terrace, and Shorewood are the top 4 seeds, so they got a bye in the first round. And so we're here in the second round of the tournament. Ball goes off the end. And that'll be a goal kick.
Hannah Trockman coming in. That's the other thing. I just saw it. I got to say it as a ref.
All right.
I appreciate the pennies, but I don't need them. Just leave them on the sideline. Just come in and swap for your girl.
Oh, they bring you a penny, the official?
Well, so you see how she's got the penny in her hand?
Right.
Yeah. So she hands that to the person she's coming off for.
Oh, yeah?
I appreciate the gesture, but it just causes more problems than not. Just come in for unless we got 5 people coming in.
Right.
I don't need a penny, but
Duly noted.
Yeah,
I'm taking notes over here. Thought Monroe had a chance there, but Snohomish pretty good dropping back on defense.
Oh, yeah, that's
out of bounds. Here on the near side, Addison Foley.
Interesting. I thought that was Monroe throw. Must have already been out when Snohomish played it.
A little hard for us to see with the players standing there.
Yeah. It's a good ball.
And I'm guessing as an official, you're so used to looking at the soccer lines, you almost go out in a field, and just about every field you're working is going to be a football field as well.
Yeah, especially with the turf.
Yeah, yeah. And at schools, they're not going to put in a special one. And you don't even see the football lines.
No, you know what's funny is if you're out there without ARs and you got to do offside, the football lines help immensely because they're just markers for you, essentially.
Right.
So I actually really appreciate it. But the one trouble you'll run into is if the soccer lines are faint, then for youth levels and when the fields are smaller, it can cause problems. But I love it for high school and anything premier, the higher levels. It actually helps me.
Jade Relkoff will go and gather that ball up for the Bearcats. It was funny, working with me on high school football games on both radio and on STSPN here is Coach Joel Vincent, who coached for many years at Jackson High School.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we're going to do the soccer game too. I don't know anything. He says, the only thing I know about soccer is I'd always go down to the soccer team in the spring and find who can kick the furthest, because that was my kicker next year in football.
Doing a little out-of-season recruiting.
That's right. Who can really boot? And you know what? And you watch some of these goalies, girls or boys, they can really boot it.
Oh, yeah. I had an 11-year-old kid this morning who punted it, and I'm not exaggerating, probably 50 or 55 yards. I mean,
an 11-year-old.
An 11-year-old, yeah. He got all, it was only once, but he got all of it, and I immediately had to start sprinting down. Luckily, it already hit the goalie by the
time I got
it's
sailing over your head. What are you doing?
Yeah, was not expecting that. It's a good ball right here.
Yeah, no.
That'll be a corner, yeah. So anytime you're going to see a free kick around the center circle, that's exactly what you want to do. You're just trying to loft it, because pretty much every team is going to hold the 18-yard line, and you're just trying to get it right over them and just cause a problem.
Right.
That's literally all you're trying to do.
So corner kick in the far corner there for Taylor Nelson of the Bearcats. And it's going to be grabbed there by the Snohomish keeper, Catherine Green. A little battle there. It's kind of a 3-on-1. I'm sure the Snohomish. Where are all my teammates? Where are you guys at?
Typically, when you're the forward like that, you just want to hold the ball up, and just like you said, I'm trying to have some help come up and then lay it off. Now, if you're, one of those speed demons that can run by everybody, then you take a 30-yard touch and you take your chances. But there aren't many of those kids out here.
Looked like Snohomish was trying to cook something up, but nothing came of it.
Unlucky. She's trying to do the right thing there. She's trying to settle down. She's trying to play, keep possession.
So you said you saw Snohomish as an official a couple weeks ago, or?
Yeah, about a month. I've seen them twice. They played Arlington. It was a draw, 1-1. Arlington actually had a heck of a game. And then the other one was against, I believe, Linwood, and that was 4-0, probably 25 minutes into the game. Snohomish just pretty much walked away with that one. So.
In fact, let's take a look at that. The Snohomish, won 9-1 over Linwood back on October the 5th.
And that game, I remember it vividly because I was on the far side of the field, and there were probably 25-mile-an-hour winds. And
you were here?
I was here,
okay.
And it was. I would argue that it was colder than it is tonight, just from the wind.
Yes. The wind chill factor feels like, as it says on your phone.
Yeah. From about just under my knee down to my foot, about 2 icicles that were just lugging around the field for a while.
So the goalie kicks it here. Jade Relkoff.
It's a good boot.
To about almost to midfield. Yep, out of bounds. Throw in here for Monroe. Thrown in there by Sophia Douglas. That also out on the near side. It'll be Douglas will throw it in again.
She's got a step. Yeah, she came. Came from an offside position there. That's a tough one because she's just watching her, and so she's thinking that maybe she's going to slot that ball in behind. Comes off her foot a little backwards. It happens, so now she's got to come back for it. It's just unlucky.
Now a kick for Snohomish. Leading at 1-0, 18:35 to go, first half. Double elimination tournament here at Veterans Memorial Stadium tonight. Monroe will get the ball. As they work it out, Olivia Douglas. Oh, ball goes out of bounds. So the winner of this game will take on the winner of the Edmonds-Everett-Woodway game, or the Edmonds-Woodway-Everett game. That's the 3 seed against the 11 seed. And this one, it's 7 against 2. Monroe's the 7th seed, and Snohomish number 2. Number 1 was Shorewood. They're playing their cross-district rival Shorecrest today.
I haven't seen them, but Shorewood is scary, I've heard. From a
very,
few officials.
very
good, top-notch, top-caliber team.
So in all of these teams, the top echelon type teams, these girls and it's guys too, they're playing year round, right? They're playing select, they're playing all over the place.
Most of them, yeah. And I reffed, is it Eastlake or Skyline? I reffed one of those games.
We mix them up too.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're all
right next door to
they're
each
all
other.
over there. But this girl, she played center mid, brilliant player, loved watching her. And after the game, it was like somebody said, "Oh yeah, she's going to Florida to play." I said, "Oh, well that answer, I knew she was playing next year. I just didn't know where."
Well, for one thing, she's going someplace warm to play.
Yeah,
not bad to play.
No,
in Florida.
Ruth Hammer with the throw.
Yeah. And it goes to Sarah Rogers. Rogers tried to feed it in. We'll just let the keeper.
I mean, honestly, for Monroe, I'd be happy with the game right now. Obviously, you let in a corner kick goal, which about 30 to 35% of all goals actually come from a set piece or a dead ball kick. So nothing you can really do there. Good service, good finish, but they're in the game. You just, if you went to half 1-0, I'd be happy. And then we got to make a few adjustments.
Yep.
I would assume they'll start pressing a little bit more, because if you lose, you're out.
Well, actually, this is double elimination.
Oh, this is double
elimination. Yeah.
This is the first one. That's my fault.
Yeah. The losers then play loser out on. All this will happen on the 2nd, next Tuesday, with the finals at Shoreline Stadium on November the 6th. Then that goes into the round of 16 for the in the state playoffs. And I'm going to show my ignorance. Maybe you know. Is this going to happen like they're doing it with all the other sports? They're doing with basketball. They're doing it with football now. Are you slotted into the state tournament, or is it a committee that's going to seed it? I think it's a committee that seeds it.
I would probably go. I would say that because the only reason I know is the Westco Kinko 4A. It's like the top 5 teams from the 10 that made districts. Right. They make it, but it's unclear as when the champion of that, what seed they'll be. Because I've heard it might be the 1, they might be the 2.
Right.
So I think you're correct.
Yeah. So they're doing that for the first time in football now in the round of 32. They're seeding it, and then it'll be seeded again when it gets to the state level in the round of 16.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's when you just have to have a bunch of people that really know the sport up and down,
Well, and it should be that way, but you're always going to get the subjective, and it's nothing different than the college football playoff where it's, well, look at this. I love the blind resumes because then you don't know. But no, I'm with you.
Because like what you said, Shorewood's an excellent team, and you've seen Shorewood. And boy, they're really, or you know that Shorewood is really good, and they're really good. But are they better than Skyview?
Sure.
Are they better than Union? Are they better than Puyallup? Mm-hmm. Did they play each other? That's the only way you would ever know.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's not like you talked about college football. Today you could have watched 40 college football games on TV. You want to see Florida State, and you want to see Marshall, and you want to see Idaho State. You can.
Yeah.
You just dial up your computer and you start watching football.
Literally. So that's where you need to go into the war room.
Yep.
And you got the 35 TVs going. It's just which game do I want to see?
But one person's opinion is worth less than somebody else's opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one goes off the end line after the throw-in. So we'll have a goal kick.
So this is interesting because if you notice, you got Snohomish's left winger staying high, almost even with the forward.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just looking at this, it almost looks like Snohomish is kind of flexed into maybe a 4-3-3, where they're kind of clogging the middle of the midfield and they're trying to exploit the sides. It's nice if you have good 1v1 players outside and you get them the ball with time and space, and then you just let them run at the outside backs. And then for Monroe, I'd still say they're probably in a 4-5-1 to some extent. They're leaving a solo forward high. Her job is just to hold the ball up, let me get some players around me to help me. But this is kind of that lull in soccer where people go, hey, it gets a little boring. No, I get it. Both teams are trying to do something.
Right.
And they're just it's almost like a chess match, no different than any other sport.
Well, if you're watching basketball, are you going to run the zone? You're going to run the 2-2-1, or or football, we're running the 4-3 or the base flex, or we're doing Tampa 2, And now we're going to have a whistle.
Offside. Great finish.
Okay, here you go. Talk about offside.
Offside. Love it. Hang on. Number 4, our assist, Sarah Hammer. That was a great run. Good ball. So she was a hair. There's the football lines, by the way. I could see on the football lines. That's what helped me identify it.
So which one? You're just looking to see who crosses the line ahead of the ball, or
so it's when the ball is struck.
Okay.
Where is she?
Mm-hmm.
If she is past the second to last defender on the attacking side of the field, she is in an offside position. Now, what they changed the rule is to avoid. There were too many keeper collisions even 5 years ago. I actually watched one where a guy just went down. It ended up being offside, but the ref missed it. I mean, he eventually brought it back, but the goalie broke his collarbone.
Ooh. And
then he's out for the season. So if there's any debate, they're going to call it early. And the key is so you could be in an offside position, but did you make an active play for the ball? Did I run at it? Did I, do something to maybe mislead the defense?
Mm-hmm.
So then somebody who wasn't offside, that would be a problem. But the other thing too is if you're past the second to last defender, as long as the ball's in front of you, you're still on.
Okay.
And then the big one is the midline. Because if you're in your defending half, you can't be offside.
Okay.
So
now and that's the responsibility of your assistants on the outsides, right?
yes. So she's on right here. The center back held her. Can she get across?
In.
Great goal.
Cheyenne Rogers with the goal. Nice. And just watching that, it was smooth.
Yeah.
Boom, right down there, and then she never even broke stride and then put her foot to it.
It's a great ball. It was from one of the center mids. I couldn't see exactly who it was. Now, if we want to nitpick, technically she should have just kept driving end line and then cut the ball back, because that sucks everybody over, and then you play the ball and somebody can just pass it in. Now, she didn't have a lot of help because she's passed everybody. So her cutting it back onto her strong foot, her right foot, that was a pretty good decision given the options that she had.
So there's a case where her speed, she knows that everybody's not going to keep up with her because of her speed.
No, exactly.
And so I'm going to play the way I needed to play. Now, when she plays at the next level, when you went to college, suddenly it was, oh my God, I've never seen a guy there, because all the guys I grew up with were back there before.
No, yeah, exactly.
Now we're all pretty good.
Now you cut out
Right.
You cut out the fluff, and it's pretty elite. So, and again, she got a through ball, so she's past everybody. So her cutting it back on her right foot is a good decision. And then just a great near post strike. Nothing really the goalie can do when it's a 12-yard shot.
Right. So the goals by Sarah Rogers and Addison Foley so far, a 2-0 lead, 8:33 to play in the first half, as Snohomish trying to advance and take on the winner of Everett and Edmonds Woodway in the semifinals. Panthers again on the
back
attack.
on that right foot. Good save, keep.
Uh-oh, now we got a Monroe player down. Just got kind of face planted. That looks like 20, right? Oh, Piper Newhouse.
Yeah, so those are one of those unfortunate collisions. She's still playing the ball. The goalie's coming out. It's just one of those bang-bang plays. It's not a foul. Snohomish wasn't doing anything malicious. But, that is one of those ones where you just kind of get rocked a little bit.
That spin there by Cheyenne Rogers was pretty good looking, too.
Yeah, that didn't hurt.
Now she has it again.
That's great work to get it to earn a corner from.
Yeah.
Frankie Terrell. I'm going with the nickname there.
Okay. Rather than Francesca Achatoro Terrell.
Beautiful name, but I'm just going Frankie tonight.
So corner kick here.
Yeah, and sorry to interrupt. That was just exactly what you want to do. You just want to get there. You want to keep the ball in, and then luckily she earns her team a corner, which they've already scored on tonight.
Rogers was there, and then Sarah Hammer will take it.
It's a good ball.
Up over. Now you can have, right there, Rogers and Hammer kind of stood around thinking they knew who was going to kick it, but you're kind of trying to deke out the other team.
A little bit. There's a few reasons for that. So if you notice that little hash behind the yellow on the end line.
Okay. Yep.
That is the line that's 10 yards. So the other team has to give you 10 yards. You could have your whole team over there, and the other team would have to wait the 10 yards. So there's two reasons to pull people over into the corner. A, you might run a short corner, so maybe you have a girl who's really good at dribbling and can beat people. Or you're just trying to open up some space in the box, so you can, your taller players can go get a header. We want to serve it here, and we just want to open things up a little bit. And I think they look like maybe they'd play short, but then she came out. We'll just go ahead and serve it. It was a great ball. Just unfortunate that they didn't get the finish.
Throw in here by Ruth Hammer. We're pushing and shoving there.
Yeah.
So if you as the official, if play like that was just nothing. Pushing and shoving a little bit. I'm guessing it gets a little more violent the further along in the playoffs you get.
Yeah, especially when you get a couple of elite teams. And for the most part, players are good and they understand, hey, this, it's not like football, but it is a contact sport. And this is what I always tell people. Just because somebody falls down doesn't mean it's a foul.
Right.
It is what it is. But, yeah, there you just got a little bit of hand fighting. The tough ones are when you get that long through ball and you have two fast people. So a little play here. Two dummies, top of the box. Sarah Hammer. Good hit. Oh.
And no.
She
follow
off.
up? No. Wow.
What a strike from Sarah.
I thought the first one had a chance. It hit the top of the crossbar and then apparently not in. That's when we would go to video review, right? There you go. Rogers gets it. So they were denied on the first one, and Rogers gets her second goal of the night.
Jeez.
The Panthers putting it to the Bearcats 3-0. That was the final score the first time they met 10 days ago. And we're still about 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Yeah, if you're Monroe, honestly, that was the dagger right there, because the 3-0 deficits, it's really hard to come back from. You're going to have to get a goal either before half or within at least the first 10 to 15 minutes of the second half to get back in the game. But if I'm Monroe right now, everything's long, and I'm just trying to get to halftime.
Yeah.
And then we can regroup, we can talk about it. If you're Snohomish, you're pressing right now. You want to just you got all the momentum, you just want to keep going.
Well, I always, me, I'm going to refer to other sports. In hockey, you're going to just keep dumping the puck, right?
Exactly. 100%. Just chase it down. You can have it. I don't want it. It's a good little through ball.
Almost with another chance. No. Yeah, you just want to, there you go, whack at it and get it out of here.
And then we can move up, give ourselves some space. Oh, my.
Oh.
Interesting.
Thank you, sir.
The whistle.
So she probably extended her arm there. And that's kind of the cue for a ref to say, okay, we can do this all we want, but the minute I push you and I really get you, then
we just got the thumbs up from the director, so we're okay.
As long as it's not the thumbs down.
or any other finger that it's sending our way.
Yeah.
Now, if you're up 3-0, do you start playing differently?
You shouldn't. You shouldn't, because it's a playoff game. So if I'm the Snohomish coach, I'm telling the girls, hey, you know what, we're in a good spot, but this first half doesn't mean anything.
Right.
It's so cliche, and I hate to say it, but that's what you don't want to get into what do you call it?
Well, you don't want to, in the paper tomorrow it says, amazing comeback by.
Yeah, no, last thing you want to see in the Prep Sports update.
Yeah. Down 3-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
They came, yeah. But it happens in every sport.
Oh, yeah. It's a tricky ball for the goalie right there when it skips off the turf.
Yep.
Because you're not sure if you can get there, and you don't want to over pursue, because then it's going to bounce off you. And then it's also tough when you have two Monroe Bearcats framing you. So it's like, I can't spill this. You gotta just catch that one.
Well, and here we go, another sport. That's the little bouncing ball to the shortstop.
Yeah.
Do I play it on the first hop, or can I make a catch for it?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're up by a bunch of runs, okay, I'm just gonna let it bounce.
Yeah.
But if we're down by a run, I'm going to try to go in and dive for it. Exactly. I would think the same thing here.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, especially for the goalie, it's 38 degrees out.
Right.
I cannot imagine that her hands feel very warm right now. So
she got gloves on. Yeah, so what?
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
okay.
yeah, no, she's going to just play that safe like she did. Let it come to her, and then she'll just cover it up.
Okay, we've stopped the clock at 2 minutes.
So now there's still 2 minutes to play, and then after that 2 minutes, it is up to Nathan, our head official. He will dictate if there's any added time. I don't think he would add any time, maybe a minute just for getting the balls for the goal kicks and whatnot, but he should notify both coaches if he is going to add any time. That's what should happen.
So he's now keeping track of the time.
Time is in his, yeah.
Okay.
He's
all right.
Obviously you got to do the 2 minutes to get us to the full 40,
Right.
and then anything after that, that is up to his interpretation of
Can I
what
tell
the
you
game
something?
needs.
That's the part of soccer that drives people berserk.
Yep.
Every other sport, you can look at the scoreboard and tell how much time is left.
Yeah. Well, and the other tricky part too is I'll give you this. So let's say, theoretically, let's say he added 3 minutes. Well, let's say a minute into that, girl goes down and she needs to get medical attention or whatever. He is then going to have to add on whatever time past that.
Okay.
So that's where it's like, hey, well, you added 3 minutes and we're up to 5 minutes and 30 seconds. And I go, well, that's what the game dictates we need because somebody was sitting
Right.
down for 2 of those minutes.
And there is the halftime. And it is expired. And it is a 3-0 lead for the Snohomish Panthers over the Monroe Bearcats. I'm Tom Lafferty along with Sean Ryan. We'll take a break. Second half coming up here. Thanks for watching District Soccer here with the Monroe Bearcats and the Snohomish Panthers. Snohomish 3, Monroe nothing. We're at halftime. Stay with us right here on STSPN.com.
You can almost smell those fresh ground beans. Airfield Espresso at Harvey Field has been serving delicious cups of gourmet happiness for over 25 years. Excellent service and lasting relationships is their top priority. Stop in and experience the kindness and joy that exude from this special place, one cup at a time.
McDaniel's Do It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, they are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized Do It Best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
We at Gene Johnson are here and ready to help with our touch-free service. Being clean and safe are at the top of our minds. We're using gloves, masks, shoe covers, and lots of hand sanitizer. Our software allows us to get your approval without any physical contact. We hope you don't need us, but if you do, we're ready. Gene Johnson, clean, on time, and professional.
Every time she scores, I order her $100. Hey, I would pay that gas. Because I said he was so proud of her. Two assists. So, and every time Leanne comes, she scores. Leanne's gonna come up to the yeah, like I said. This is just less pieces.
So here we go. Second half underway. And the Snohomish Panthers with a 3-0 lead over the Monroe Bearcats. And Snohomish controls right off the outset. Tom Lafferty along with Sean Ryan. Thanks for being with us here on STSPN.com. And you mentioned in the first half that 3-0 plateau really is like almost the unbreakable barrier, right?
And it's super weird because they call the 2-0 lead is the worst lead in soccer. It's one of the, and the reason for that is because if the other team gets one goal, immediately you just need one more and you've tied the game now.
It's that way. It's hockey, same way.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, it's weird like that. 2-0 at half, it's almost like you'd prefer to be up 1-0.
Because you're going to still fight.
Yeah. And then the 3-0 lead, though, is tough. Now, what you've already noticed, we're 17 seconds in, Monroe's going to press, and they have to, because you got to get a goal here in the first 10 to 15 minutes to realistically give yourself a shot. Now, have I seen weirder things? Yes, but time is such an important thing in soccer that you just, it's no different than football. At some point you're up enough points where it's like, the Atlanta Falcons don't know, but you just got to hand the football off,
Yeah.
So if I'm Snohomish, you don't want to get complacent. You're up 3. You can't just sit back. I anticipate them to just keep pinging the ball a little bit and then try and get that 4th goal, and that'll just be the nail in the coffin. See that little Halloween joke there, right there? Nobody
nail in
picked
the
up
coffin?
on? Yeah.
I got it. I
don't know.
You try.
I'm silly.
You're tired. You've been running around.
Yeah.
So as an official, or let's talk about as a player when you were playing, how many miles are you running when you're...
Ooh, that's a good question.
Somebody must have done a study on that,
Yeah, well, it's pretty cool now. Most of the pro... we're talking MLS and whatever. They have actual data chips in their cleats and whatnot that track how fast you're running, what your top speed is, distance covered.
So how far is Raul Rui Diaz running on a night?
Well, he's a forward. Oh, she just...
See, okay, now a forward will run more than a defense.
Your midfielders are going to run the most because they got to cover number 12 right there, Cheyenne Rogers. That's a stinger right there. Especially when the turf's cold like that and you hit it real hard. I don't care what sport you're playing. It just doesn't feel good. Looks like she's holding her arm, wrist maybe. But, yeah, so your midfielders are going to be the ones that cover the most distance. I'd probably say, it is a toss-up between forwards and defenders after that. Your outside backs are going to cover a lot of because they're going to get into the attack occasionally. Your center backs, they're just going to stay home. But, for me in college, I played center mid, and depending on how many minutes in the game I played, but it could be anywhere from 7 to 10 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good move, good entry ball.
So she'll clear it back. Wow. Soft foul or foul?
And that's the tricky thing. When you got somebody in your back, it's always what's too much. And that's kind of what I was telling you in the first half. Once I extend that arm, that's too much.
Yeah.
But on this, the other thing, too, is, Monroe's pressing right now. And if I'm the official, I'm just going to call some soft stuff just so that everybody keeps the level down. We don't get too animated, and then I lose control, and that's the problem for an official.
Well, in basketball, you'll see that. Well, they're letting them play tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Jackson on ESPN will say, they're letting them play tonight. Apparently we can get away with that. But what's worse, and you know that as an official, that wasn't a foul in the first half. And now suddenly with 8 minutes to go in the game, suddenly it's a foul.
Yeah, and that's the consistency, especially for soccer, that is a problem for an official is, you called it one way this half and you called it the next way the second half. It's a good ball again. Great job from the goalie right there. That's really hard because she's tracking the ball in the air, and you have about 7 people both from your team and not from your team running at you. So that's excellent on her part.
But they can't run into her.
No. Goalie is king. Goalie is king. They have player safety.
And they let you know that too, don't they?
Yeah.
So you can't run it as that ball's coming down. That's a big foul. Right? That's.
I mean, if you hit her good, that's a yellow card. And,
okay.
And then especially for high school soccer, if you get a yellow card, you actually have to sub off the field.
Okay.
That's your
sub off for the rest of the day.
No, you just got to come off.
Okay.
You can sub right back on, but the idea is like,
punishment.
Hey, you just did something you shouldn't do, so we're not going to let
Right.
you keep playing for a little bit. Oh.
Well, and that's where goalies, and going back to a football term, a vulnerable position, being hit, I'm watching the ball come down here. I can't worry about these 7 people.
Oh, great. Wow, good clearance by Snohomish for a corner. But that's exactly what you want to do if you're Monroe. You got the ball wide, put it into a dangerous position, and then a great service across just right on the restraining line.
So Monroe with the corner, and Ellie Greer to kick it. Here's Greer's kick.
Good service. Okay, so now she just wants to serve it back. Okay, yeah. Underhit it a little bit, and you want to curl that farther to the back post, but that's the right idea.
That's Edelbrock up the right wing there.
Now, to be honest, what surprised me is before that little build-up play for Monroe, I noticed that they had their striker high, and there was only one center back on her. If I'm Snohomish, all 4 of my defenders are back at all times right now. I'm not leaving a one-on-one. Ball squirts through, and if she runs by her, it might be a goal. You can't have that if you're Snohomish.
Well, yeah, if you're Snohomish, you don't want to give up a cheapie.
No, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, that's football, and you give up a punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah.
What? We played great all night long, and suddenly we're only up by 1 score instead of 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great ball. That is a great ball. Cheyenne Rogers, yeah.
She's been all over the field.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. And that's hard, too, because that ball for her is almost rolling away from her. So she's got to turn and get her hips all the way around. It's different than striking a ball that's just naturally going forward.
Right.
It's easy to get momentum. You got to generate the power, and that's just an impressive ball.
Yeah, we saw that little spin move down here in the first half, too, by her.
Yeah.
So okay, you as an official, or if you're standing on the sideline and coach, you go, okay, she's good.
Yeah. yeah. No, exactly. A little mental note.
Yeah.
And that also tells me I got to get out of her way.
Right. Right. Well, you got to, and I would think defensively, I've got to give myself room to play defense because she's going to zing right by me.
Yeah, you want to give her a little space.
Dust.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, that's what they always call it. Give her 5 yards.
Okay.
Just give her, especially if somebody's got pace, and it's like, you know what, if you get beat once, hey, it happens to everybody. But if you get beat a second and a third time, that's when the coach says, okay, I either need to make a sub because you're not making an adjustment, or we're going to need to bring somebody in help. And the one problem is that Monroe, because you're down 3 and you got to press, you can't really give help.
Now they're wrapping the leg over there, but that's the visiting side.
Yeah, did they bring a trainer?
Lauren Pedley. So she's off. The play will continue, right? Just shorter player.
I believe they brought a sub on. Let's see.
Did
2,
they?
4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, so they brought a sub on.
Okay.
She'll have to walk all the way back around the field if she wants to sub back in the game, but that is interesting.
So
looks like they taped her knees. Could be tendonitis, I guess, maybe, or
I don't know.
Yeah, she looks fine.
I'm looking for I know who the Snohomish trainer is. I don't see her on the near side, so maybe they're
interesting.
And I think there's a fraternity amongst the trainers too. Hey,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to do the football game. Can you cover both sides tonight? Yeah, sure, no problem. And then I'll get you next time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you officials will do that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I can't do Tuesday night. Can you do Tuesday night? I'll take your Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You got it.
Or like today, I picked up an extra game for my assigner, and he immediately said, I owe you one. And I said, I'm keeping that in the bank, and there's going to be a day where I just don't want to go out, and I'm just going to tell you.
So, okay, we were talking about one of our sponsors is Washington Officials Association, and we need your help. Do you have to have played soccer to be a soccer official?
You do not. Because now they have – that's a great ball. That's a great ball to the right back right there. Number 5. So here we go again. We got a 1v1. If in Snohomish, this is a problem.
Uh-oh.
Good ball. She should have held it up a little bit longer. So what she wants to do there, she had already beat her man on the outside.
Right.
The ball was correct, but it was too early. Snohomish had 2 defenders back. They were marked up. What she needed to do was just keep driving at the goalie and make her make a decision. And then she either cuts that ball, or if the goalie doesn't step to her, she just shoots it past her. That was great build-up play from Monroe. That's exactly what you want to do. And again, I don't understand what's going on with Snohomish. You're matched up 1v1 across the board. You can't have that right now. You need to, especially if your midfielders aren't going to help back.
Right.
But they didn't track back well. Who was it? Megan Hurley. That was a great ball to outside to Taylor Nelson. Taylor just needed to keep driving before she sent that ball across. But
like every sport, you got to finish.
You got to finish, yeah. Well, and that's why they pay the forwards the most money. It's no different than any other sport. Whoever can score is going to get the bankroll.
Yeah.
But to go back on your
officials,
yeah.
Yep.
You don't have to have played soccer. We have like U8, U9 games, so the kids are 7 or 8 years old. So I believe the cutoff is either 11 or 12 to be an official. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. And you can just, honestly, you just go onto Google, type in, Washington State soccer ref. It'll show you. It'll take you. You can do online class. Yep. And then it'll take you through all the rules. Though I believe the initial certification, they'll do an on-field portion for about an hour, just so you know, hey, this is signal throw-in, goal kick. This is what you look for. But yeah, no, we need refs. Again, it's great pay. I mean, shoot, I ref 10-year-olds today for an hour, and I made almost $40. So for a little exercise, it's not strenuous either. You're not sprinting around like you would be here.
Now, these folks they're working.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you get 17, 18-year-old girls flying around like this.
Yeah.
It's a great entry ball from Elle Greer. Yeah, there's Taylor Nelson again. The senior forward, she's putting in work to start this second half. She's trying to get her team back into it. I've been impressed. It's easy when you're down 3-0 to just roll over and kind of say, hey, maybe the game's already over.
Right.
Monroe has dominated the second half to start.
Yeah, it's been down this end of the field a lot. Snohomish will try to clear it out, and here come the Panthers.
The brake's on. Is that going to be a yellow or just a foul? Okay. So the thing about that, here's another soccer term for you.
All right.
I know you're just itching for it.
I do.
That was a promising attack.
Promising attack. Okay.
It looked like it was either a 3v4 or a 4v4.
And by V, you're meaning versus, right?
Versus, yes. Sorry.
1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
So, okay. So that ball was a little short. She's going to pick it up. But yeah. So basically, what Nathan he calls that foul there wasn't a hard foul, but it was a foul. Mm-hmm. But basically, what he's thinking in his mind quickly is just was more likely than not that could that have been a goal? Mm-hmm. And if the answer is yes, then you pull out a yellow card. It was a promising attack. The other player made a tactical foul. There's another soccer term for you guys. But in his mind, I think I believe Monroe had an extra player back.
Yeah.
So he said, hey, I'm just going to call a foul. Could have been her first foul of the game, too. No harm done. Now you go kick somebody. That's going to be a different story.
Sure. So that's it. We'll go back to hockey again when there's going to be a goal, a penalty shot. Because in the mind of the official, they're going down and they're going to score.
Yeah.
And then you slew foot the guy out of there. All right, tweet.
Yeah. Can't have
penalty
that.
shot.
Can't have that. Yeah.
Or technical foul, for that matter, in basketball. Okay, you guys get out of here. We're going to shoot 3.
Well, what do they call it? The no man back.
Right.
I forget what's the term for it. This is I hate that. It doesn't matter, but
you're too young to forget things.
I know.
Some of them. Yeah, Monroe's been on the attack here.
I like it. That if they can get, I truly believe, and this is another weird thing in soccer, and it's similar to other sports, but there's times where you're dominating the game, you're punishing the other team, but for whatever reason, the ball just won't go in the goal. And then the minute it does, you might get 2 goals right after that. And it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. That's all I can say about it.
Here come the Panthers.
Cheyenne Rogers again. She's just everywhere.
Oh, that was nice.
Great turn. Amazing ball. There's just not enough space for anybody to get on that. If she lofts it a little higher, then somebody can run under that. That ball was whipped in, though, so it's going to be difficult for anybody to get there. But
how hard is that to be going full speed here? You stop, you tap the ball back with your toe behind you, and then you go pick it up and go.
Yeah. No, it's
that's skill.
Yeah. No, and she did a beautiful Cruyff turn.
Wait a minute. Let's go back. Cruyff turn?
Johan Cruyff, it's where you flick the ball behind your leg. Yeah, that is. He played for the Netherlands. He's one of the most famous soccer players ever. Probably the most revolutionary soccer player that.
Well, they named a move after him.
They named a move. There's he's the one that built Barcelona into what it is now.
Okay.
Completely changed the way the game's played. It's a lot of hand fighting right there.
I was going to say, they're pushing and shoving on each other. Well, and for Monroe now, with 23 minutes or so to go in the second half, it's go time, right? You got to do
100%.
You got to do something here the next couple of minutes, or we're done.
Well, and you notice they're leaving their wingers high now.
Yeah.
So the game's really going to open up here. Snohomish is going to have opportunities like they just did, and that's strictly because it's just a numbers game now. Monroe's got to press. You got to get a goal, so you're going to get exposed at times, and you just pray that a goal doesn't sneak in for Snohomish. So there's that tugging again. It's easy when the player's on their back as an official to just call it.
Yeah.
It's soft, but it is what it is.
So let's talk about when we were talking about offsides, and it's really the responsibility of the officials on the outside with the flags in their hand. Is there a signal that it's not offside? You know hockey.
Yeah.
You'll see the linesman do the safe sign, like, no, that's not offside. That's not. Almost every time down the ice.
I'll usually do like a palm open low and just say like, hey, play. That's kind of my signal for like, hey, just play on. Especially if I'm running, because you're holding a flag in one hand.
Right.
So I'd be running like this, and I would have my other hand out like, hey, she's good. You
Okay.
know? Or you can even just yell, she's on, she's fine. But yeah, basically more communication you can give to the center ref, the better.
Right. And you appreciate that when you're the center.
Oh, 100%. You can never have enough communication from the assistants.
We'll watch, of course, doing the Aqua Sox all summer, and because they do two-man mechanics, and they're signaling to each other the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I've got it. I've got third.
Yeah.
You've got second. No, the guy here. And it's funny. You'll see a play happen, and the home plate umpire is making the call at second base.
Yeah.
He's out there going safe because the ball was hit into right field, and so the base guy had to go out there to make sure it wasn't. The mechanics are amazing.
No, yeah,
That's the hardest part to me on all officiating.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, soccer doesn't matter.
Well, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. It always, there's two things. Player safety is always number one. You always want everybody to end the game healthy. And the second one is, did we miss anything? We don't want to miss anything, especially the big stuff. So, when you're a soccer official, you want to make sure you're in the penalty area. Did she get tripped? Was there a handball? I want to make sure I got the big calls correct. But again, across all sports, that's what it is. Player safety 1, and then the second one is let's not miss anything. Let's put ourselves in a good position.
Sounds like that's your pregame every time you're with your referee.
Gosh, yeah. Well, especially once you get into, loser out or winner to state.
Yep.
You're going to go through everything. You're going to say, okay, hey, we know this girl, she likes to do this. This team plays this way. And that's the other thing, too. My worst nightmare, I don't care what game I'm reffing, if not just one, but both coaches come up and say, hey, we have a history with this team. Immediately, oh, good ball. That's a great ball. Can she get by her?
Stride for stride.
Good defense. Oh, get across her corner. Good ball.
Keeper comes up and gets it.
That was great work from Monroe, though. Number 18, that's Sophia Douglas. Yeah, and that's tough. She just sprinted 45 yards.
Right.
Got tackled probably 3 times, and then still has to have the mental fortitude to just send in a great ball. It's coming right back down at him, yeah.
Yeah, they'll send it out of bounds. So 19 minutes to go here in the second half. Panthers with a 3-0 lead over the Bearcats.
If in this, my dad wouldn't agree with this tactic, but because, again, we're trying to win a game, and it doesn't matter if you lose 7-0 or 3-0.
Yeah.
I would literally put 4 forwards up with Monroe, and I would just start sending the ball. I would just start sending it and just give away the midfield. I would just say, you guys can have possession. I don't care.
I'm guessing that's when you were an assistant coach with your dad as a head coach, lots of arguing in the car on the way to and from practice.
No, we have different idea. I shouldn't say that. He taught me the game, and we agree on about 90%. But I come from the thing, it doesn't matter if you lose 1-0 or 12-0. You still lost. So
right.
Depending on what the game is, I would press forward. And he's one where, and I get his argument, but if I can keep it 1-0, we're still in it.
You're telling me we got a chance.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just where we differ a little bit. But
now, are there numbers that support your argument and numbers that support his argument?
Yeah, I would say he's correct most of the time, but it depends, again, what the game is. If it's loser out, what do you have to lose?
Right.
We're going home anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, and he's smart like that. So it's, but it is just, I'm always one to if we get the goal, maybe we get the second one and then we're in, so.
If, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I played forward, winger, and attacking center mid. So I'm always we got to press, you know.
Let's go.
And he's always probably seen the bigger picture a little bit better. No, I do. You know what? I'm even going to give Monroe a ton of credit right now. Obviously, game's not over and anything can happen, but it would have been very easy for them to just come out, kind of woe is me attitude.
Fold up your tents.
Exactly. We're not out yet, but they've pressed. They've created dangerous chances time and again, and they're not giving up. So there's something to be said for that too. Going into the next game, if you can generate, even if you just get a goal, maybe you lose 3-1, but if you can generate some positivity, that just helps the mental side of the game going into your next match.
So then, and we'll talk. It doesn't matter if basketball, football, hockey, doesn't matter. They'll watch film too, right?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Watch tendencies mainly?
Yeah. No, you would, let's say the game ended right now, 3-0. Right. What you do, the corner kick, you'll watch that and you'll just say, okay, were we marked up? Did we miss something? What was our structure, or what could we have done better? That one, not so much. The one that you're going to talk about is probably the second goal, where I forget Was it?
It was Addison Foley.
Yeah, Addison Foley. She got in behind, and then, she shoots it near post and this or that. So right off the bat, we got exposed. Did we lose possession? Did we give it away? And what was our shape looking like at that point in time? That's the one. That's probably the goal where you're going to look at. The third goal was just a beautiful strike.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing you can do there.
Yeah.
You could say maybe, hey, we should have got pressure on the ball quicker. But again, that's an argumentative thing.
Right.
So really what you're going to do is you're going to look at the second one. And then as far as offensively, I would be showing the first, I'd find a few of the clips of the first 20 minutes where we created good chances. That one that Taylor had, hey, Taylor, you did the right thing. It was a great ball, but you needed to keep dribbling. You needed somebody else to make a decision, so then your decision is easier. She tried to do the right thing. She sent it into a dangerous position, but again, they were marked up.
Yeah.
You need to draw one of them, and then it's a 1v0.
So one of the guys that works with us on basketball here on STSPN and works with me on KRKO as well, Joel Boyer, and he will basketball guy, and Coach Joe Vincent in football talk about junk defense. Are there junk? Sometimes okay, you're playing Ryan Appleby of Stanwood. This is going back a ways. Are you gonna play?
Don't let him shoot.
Right? Are you gonna are you gonna let him shoot and not let the other four guys shoot?
Oh, sure, yeah. Like take everybody else out of the game.
It's not it's not 2-3 zone. It's a junk defense.
Yeah.
We're taking everybody else out, and you know what? If Appleby's going to
box
shoot
in one or whatever, yeah,
shoot the bomb all night long, well, that's fine. Steph Curry.
Exactly. In soccer, it's a little different just because there's so much
area.
Yeah.
She was there too.
Yeah, who is that? That was a great run. 15?
I think it is.
I got
15.
Megan Hurley. Yeah, that's because again, 98% of the time she's just going to pick that ball up. But there is going to be that 2% where she bobbles it, and all I got to do is get a little toe in there, and it's a goal. So
there's another shot.
Another good ball.
Tell you, Monroe's had chances.
No,
and Catherine Green's been there for all of them. A 3-0 lead for Snohomish.
Yeah. But to answer your question with if there's, like this girl at Eastlake I saw the other week where she's going to Florida, you're going to know that probably going in, or you knew it from the previous season. She's a player. Right. So you're either going to man mark her. I don't know about that. It's another soft foul right there.
Yeah.
Now, we're up here in the booth, so I can't see as well as Nate does.
Let me tell you something about sports broadcasting. I've never missed a call from 75 yards away. Doesn't matter. Basketball, football, doesn't matter. I've never missed a call. But what didn't you like?
It was a little soft for Sarah Hammer. Great player. She is a great player, great center mid. It just looked like maybe she was already going to ground. And maybe now the arm did look like maybe it extended at the end, but again, it's a good hit off the wall. Goalie's worst nightmare. Goalie's worst nightmare right there. Takes a deflection and it's coming in low, skipping off the turf. It's just not fun to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was soft. But again, Nate's a good ref. He knows what he's doing. So that ball right there, unlucky from Megan. And it's just a natural thing. In soccer, it's like basketball. You get out on the break, you want to pass it so you lead them. Sometimes it's better to just pass it to them and then let them go.
Let them go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you hit it too hard and then like that, she just I think it's Elle.
Ellie.
Ellie, yeah. She just couldn't get there. But again, if you play it to her feet, she can trap it and then she can start running. But it's just one of those natural things where you just want to lead them.
And that's a case, too. I'm guessing on throw-ins that way, too. Whoever's around you that you're going to throw it into, what they like.
Yeah.
Okay, she likes the ball low. She likes it way up high because she likes to hit it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, Taylor, can you beat her? Good ball. Oh.
Too high.
What a ball. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, Taylor and Megan, those two are problems for Snohomish. They have been all half. And that finish right there, very difficult. It's all technique. all you're trying to do is you're just trying to side foot it, and you're just trying to keep it low. And it's hard when you're running full speed. She probably just sprinted 40 yards, and then she's got to literally just be a robot like this for a second. It's just difficult.
So the Panthers on the attack here.
Yeah. So right now you need to double her. You cannot let Cheyenne have any space. She's the problem. We got to deal with it.
So that's you would. Then you would double team her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever she goes, there's two people with her.
Yeah. And especially if I'm whoever the left mid, Ellie. If I'm Ellie, I'm screaming at my left back to close her down. We don't want to give her any time or space. She, way to keep it in. Oh.
So now that time the side official over here raises flag.
So it looks like he's calling a foul, I believe. Or he's calling a goal kick. Interesting. So he's saying that it had gone over the end line. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's interesting that he's calling a goal kick on that because she was the one who touched it, and then she tried to push it back in. So
and she was laying on the other side of the line.
Could have been an offside call, but again, that didn't really make sense. I'm not really sure on that one, to be honest.
Kept in bounds, but grabbed by Monroe.
Good turn. Cheyenne. Oh, my. And she gets fouled. Yep.
She got fouled, but she went right on through it.
Yeah. And that's where you go, okay, we're at a next level here with this player. I mean, the turn alone, then she gets fouled. Like you mentioned, keeps playing, ball gets away from her. Ref says, no, we're going to bring it back. No advantage there.
Right.
This is good service. I'll give Snohomish this. These midline balls that are kind of just, throwaways. You're just trying to get it into the dangerous area. It's been great service all night long for them. So now you're noticing we got 8 minutes left. Monroe hasn't had very many subs, and Snohomish has dominated possession in this. And that's just from us, literally the coach saying, hey, we're sprinting for the first 20 minutes of the half to try and get back in this game. Now you're seeing the fatigue set in, and it's going to be very difficult.
Sophia Andre coming in, and Lauren Pedley. Gosh, I can't. If that's a 6 or an 8.
That's the other thing soccer doesn't do well. Numbers are not always legible, I will say, or not big enough. The font size isn't big enough.
Well, you also get the light orange on the white jersey, too, that you can't see. So don't get me started on numbers and jerseys.
Yeah. Here's Taylor Nelson again. She's been the most dynamic player. Oh, and just lost,
Yeah, off the end.
Lost where she was on the field. Not enough real estate sometimes. Yeah, no, Megan and Taylor Nelson for Monroe. They've been very dynamic. Ellie too out here on the left side. They've been causing problems in Snohomish. Obviously, they're going to watch film too and say, where did we get exposed? How did that happen? It's a good shot.
And in.
Wow. And there's Megan right on cue. That was an assist for Josie, number 14.
Josie McCullough with the assist.
Nice little 1-2 there.
And Megan Hurley with the goal.
Now, hey, I don't. Maybe something crazy happens here. I still think Snohomish is going to close this game out, but that's exactly what you want. Let's say the game ends 3-1. If I'm the Monroe coach, I'm saying, hey, we fought hard. We didn't give up. You could argue you got yourself back in the game. Now it's too late because of the whole time thing now. But I would be ecstatic if I was that coach, and that also just you feel better going into the next match.
Right. Well, and that also gives whoever they play in the next round on Tuesday something to think about.
100%, yeah.
Uh-oh, they don't give up, and that was a pretty good goal.
Yeah.
Because then on Tuesday it's loser out.
Exactly, and that's, you know.
Then you're pushing all the chips into the middle of the table.
Exactly. But yeah, Monroe, I like it. They're still fighting here. Now, if they get another one, you know, even within 2 minutes, Snohomish is just going to start sending everything long. It's like the hockey.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out. We just want the game to end.
But we're not gonna pull the goalie for an extra attacker.
And here's Cheyenne again.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just a dynamic player. Just very dynamic. Kind of one of those people where anytime they get the ball, it's like, I'm watching. I want to watch.
Yep.
Something might happen. I don't know, but.
Well, and you can just tell the motor is going the full blast,
100%, yeah.
So we're inside 5 minutes to play. It's a double elimination tournament, and the winner plays the winner of Everett and Edmonds Woodway. The loser goes into the loser bracket, and they'll play the loser of Everett Edmonds Woodway. Everett the 11 seed, Edmonds Woodway the 3 seed.
Yeah. And Edmonds Woodway, they're always a good quality team. They actually had a girl. Oh, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I think her name was Maddie Schultz. I could be wrong. I know her first name's Maddie. Can't remember her last name. She went to play at North Carolina, or in women's soccer known as University of National Championships. So, yeah, Woodway's got a nice little history of women's soccer. I'll just say that.
We are hearing on. I got a text from our friend Brandon Hamilton, the run doctor back at KRKO. He's listening tonight, said Sean's doing a great job. I think the term he was thinking of is breakaway. Was that the term? When when there's a breakaway?
Oh, is this for basketball?
No. We were talking about when a player's going down.
Yeah. No, that is what I'm.
Brandon's always thinking.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny. I always fancy myself a wordsmith, and then sometimes I lose the word.
Yeah, but you ran a couple of miles here this afternoon,
I can tell you what I did.
Okay. Oh, you got it on your watch.
I did 12 miles today. I've done over 25,000 steps. So thank you for letting me throw that in there, Always love to get the stats in.
So Monroe, now they got to step on the gas, right?
Yeah.
You got to go.
Don't foul her. Yep. Just let her clear it. That was a beautiful trap by Ellie. She brings it down from her chest. She's got somebody lurking behind her. I guess I'm going to use that term. But,
that'll work.
Again, you don't feel comfortable, but again, she gets it. She plays it forward into a dangerous area. But yeah, if you're Monroe, you're just pumping everything up.
All out of bounds again.
And you don't want to do that. I will say that. You're wasting your own time now.
Yeah, that's right. Tick, 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 right? The clock is moving. So it'll stop at 2.
Yes, so the game clock will stop at 2. Nate's going to run it down all the way till the 40, and then I'm guessing if I were him, I would probably just – you've had a few injuries. I'd say probably just a minute or two. I would probably add 2 minutes. Just, it is a district playoff game. You've had stuff like this.
Right, right.
So that's what I would do, but I'm guessing he could either call it right at 40 or maybe add 1.
So inside the last 2 minutes of the game, plus the stoppage time.
This is how you get a yellow card if you don't throw that ball in.
And that time to throw it in gets shorter and shorter. I'm guessing the more towards the end of the game we are.
Yeah.
No stalling.
Well, my favorite is when the player tells me, well, I don't have anybody to throw it to. And I say, well, that's your team's fault. That's not my fault.
As you're holding up the yellow card.
Yeah.
You had no one to throw it to.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're
turn.
woe is me.
There you go. Turn. There you go. Good ball.
Little too much.
Again, it's the right idea, but it's just, yeah, like you just said, there's a little too much pace on that. You'd prefer to hit that softer so she can just run into it, you know.
Yep.
Now, obviously, I haven't played 78 minutes of soccer, so that's easy to say from up here. But
So let's talk about who we think is our player of the game, our adrenaline fundraising player of the game.
yeah, you know, Sarah Rogers has got the 2 goals. You know, I'd probably just take her, but I would, you know.
You like the way Cheyenne?
I like Cheyenne. I just think she's very dynamic. She opens up a lot of space, especially when you're not playing on the ball.
Right.
She's, you know, I got Monroe with upwards of 10 fouls, and I would probably say that between Sarah Hammer and Cheyenne, probably 7 or 8 of those are on those 2.
Right. So there's something there you draw fouls too, right?
Yeah, and just, you know, it's kind of like what we mentioned. As an official, early in the game, I'm identifying, okay, who are the top players? Who do I need to get out of the way? Well, the other team's doing that too.
Right.
You know, who keeps beating us? Who's causing problems for me? You know, yeah, I mean, Sarah Rogers, you get a brace, soccer term.
Oh.
Score 2 goals is a brace.
Is 3 goals a hat trick, though?
It is a hat trick,
okay,
yes,
all right.
sir. So, you know, obviously get her in.
Let's go Sarah Rogers with a couple of goals.
No, it's the easy one. It's the easy one.
Yep. And
there's the final whistle, yeah. So I think he added maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That is the final whistle.
So that is it, and the final score with Sarah Rogers, our adrenaline fundraising player of the game. She'll get her picture taken and a shirt from STSPN.com. Well, Sean Ryan, thanks for being with us.
No, thanks for having me. I had a great time, and you know what? It's you know, I don't think the score reflected the game. Ended 3-1, but Monroe, you know, I would say they won the first 12 minutes, and then I would say they definitely dominated the second half. Snohomish had a few chances, but no, you got to be. If I'm the Monroe coach, I'm happy, and the better team won tonight. So Snohomish moves on.
So Snohomish will move on, as will the Monroe Bearcats, but they'll have to go now through the losers bracket. Again, the final score 3-1 with the Snohomish Panthers over the Monroe Bearcats. For Sean Ryan, for Todd Elvig, and our cast and crew here at STSPN.com, I'm Tom Lafferty. Good night from Snohomish.